technical framework for managing AI. So these years I want to go more in detail, presenting how to do it. Sometimes those frameworks are not understandable unless you have people responsible and process and KPIs to be sure the progress you're doing. Well, this is not my presentation. Well, while they present presentation, the last speaker, in his final thought, said two things. It's not about replacing people with algorithms, empowering communities. But we know that everybody doesn't think like that, because we already know that some people is using AI to get profit, no matter what happens in society, and they have enough money to keep on doing that. So we have to be ethical. We have to adopt ethical behaviors and empowering communities. But how do we empower communities? With principles, with KPIs, with value for society approach. That's what we are going to talk today. Wow, this is my presentation. I would like to be here. So I'm going to go over here. We have three topics for today: joining principle, business, and social commitment. An ethical and social responsibility framework, and innovation, government, and monetization process. What is hard for companies, no matter in the public or private sector, to understand how to make principles work and how to measure it. Because at the end, they understand it like just words. How to make those work take action in the organization and make part of the DNA of people. That's really important. Well, let's see. Most common financial KPIs. This is what most companies and even people want to do: create money. Well, let's take a look to some of the most used KPI, return of investment. That's my preferred one, because it's easy to measure. How many I'm going to put in this business, and how much profit I'm going to get from that. Easy. And cost reduction. For instance, the intensive use of AI agents goes directly to cost reduction, because at the end, accelerates processes, at the end improves data quality, and finally, it is true, reduces people activities. But in my business case, I never took people activities and their costs to make a business case. You have to go directly to the problem. Later I'm going to show you how to do it. Revenue grew from AI, time to value, For instance, time to value or time to market is improving because with AI tools for developing software is bringing us more speed. But what it takes you to do in 6 months, you're making it in 1 month. So it's improving the time to market for developing solutions with AI support. And at the end, I don't want to talk more about this because most of you guys know about these different KPIs. But the message here is, well, it's good to pretend create value from AI. But it's important to create value for society as well. So this, what is here is the most common principles. No matter how many, because you can find it in multiple frameworks. What really matters is what this means to you. For instance, reliability. All systems should perform consistently and accurately under expected conditions. Well, we here see some KPIs about it. Because all AI systems should be trackable. Let's say something like fairness to avoid bias and discrimination. And it's possible to measure this principle. Disparity rate across demographics, issues identified and mitigated. So, how you make those principles are part of the activities in your organization? Easy. Measure those KPIs. Make those KPIs part of the continual improvement of the company. Make those KPIs part of the business strategy. Make your CEO talk about this in the meetings. By example, that's the best way of creating a culture in the companies and in the public sector. By example, and asking those KPIs. It could be those ones. The most suitable to your organization. There are a lot of literature. You can ask ChatGPT, whatever you want to do. The important is how this is going to be implemented in your organization. And surprise, there are tools that measure those KPIs. Open source tools that you can find. For instance, environmental or carbon, machine learning CO2, impact tracker. At the end, there are many tools available to measure those KPIs. So, what we have seen so far is how to measure value creation, how to measure principles, but is that enough? I don't think so. Because there are some KPIs to measure social dimensions. So, if we create value, if we follow principle, is that enough? For me, it's not. You have to create value for society. And can you get profit from being socially responsible? The answer is yes, and it's better. And you can convince your customer, providers, different parts of the digital ecosystem to be part of it. Because this is better than just creating value for stakeholders, customers, etc. So, for instance, health, life expectancy, better health access, many solutions have to do with that. How to prevent cancer. Can it make money from that? Yes. But I'm helping society to improve life expectancy. So at the end, my message here is not just think about profit, think about this social dimension. And it's easy to apply it in any model. As well as to apply KPIs principle to those models. And of course, it's important to create value. So we have presented some KPIs that improve the value of the organization in financial terms. So how will we combine all those things? Here we are. I'm not going to talk about this too much, but this is what most companies have. One strategy, product, services, and processes, and regulation, and corporate governance. So here we are. Here we go. The why. What I just explained. How do I combine principles with social and financial KPIs? Other examples. People quit school or college. Yes. We can create a machine learning algorithm to prevent that situation, to predict that situation, and take action for making those people come back to study. And I improved the educational level of people, social. But I also keeping that student. And he's going to pay for being there. So at the end, I'm very valuable for university or school. No matter private or public sector. It's the way that you see when you create an AI model. What is first? What goes first? Improving the level of education of people, and also create value in terms of financial approach. So here, we always try, from the strategic point of view, make an approach for using data and AI. So how do we do it? With innovation, data governance, development and implementation, evaluate and act, and risk management. Risk of non-compliant principles. Not being safe, not being environmental, all that we already saw. And then it's just AI's life cycle. is released until it's disabled. And in the middle, adjustment, monitoring those models. This is more operational. What technology? We have to use it and adopt it and appropriate it, because we're going to resolve problems with AI solutions to create value, but a human-centered value, but also create value for organizations in terms of profits or any KPI that you choose for measuring the success of your AI strategy. And you can have a case study. And you should have a roadmap which you can have a lot of use cases until you complete one strategy. All that you're going to do from a strategic, tactical, and operational point of view, and aligned to strategic, ethical, and regulatory. Wow. How do we go in more detail to this? There are some places. Discovery, innovation, data governance, develop, and implementation, evaluate, and act. That was the part that was over there in the last slide. The first is understanding the context of the business. What this company does. Identify regulation, understanding corporate governance, but the most important, identifying business initiative that can be solved by AI. AI can resolve problems, manage risks, create new opportunities, and make dreams come true. And we have to engage CEO and all C-levels in the organization. This is part of the organization. It's not just a matter of data scientists. All the company has to be involved and have to be accountable for the results. Up in here. So in this part we have to review and share principles according to all that we already saw or what the company see more affordable to them. You can redefine those principles, but the motivations is part of that we have to do here. Select social and financial KPIs, the most suitable for the organization. If you have initiatives, you have to prioritize them, because you have to think big, start small, and act fast to take advantage of those initiatives, no matter if they are problem, risk, opportunity, or wins. So we have here the big picture.